Hi everybody, welcome back to FRAG-MENTAL. Thanks for joining me. In this video, I'm giving you my take on one of my favourite boozy fragrances. It's Baraonda from Nasomatto. Stay tuned to FM. I've owned Baraonda now for a few months, so I've had lots of opportunity to wear the fragrance and really appreciate it. I've mentioned it before in a few of my list videos, so you know I do really enjoy it. As I said, it's one of my favourite boozy scents. But I thought I'd dedicate a full video to this great fragrance and explain to you why I love it so much. And here's the beautiful bottle. It was released in 2016. It's classed as an Oriental Woody. The nose behind this is Alessandro Gottieri. Let's take a closer look. Notes in this are musk, ambrette, which is a plant substitute for animal musks, whiskey, rose, ambroxan, and woody notes. I'm just going to have a little spray of this while I talk about the scent. So because this is an extrait concentration, it's the strongest concentration you can get without it being pure perfume oil. You get a really heady opening, it's really strong in the opening. You get a big blast of musks and a gorgeously realised photorealistic whiskey accord, which is actually the star of this fragrance. There's also some rose in there, but it's not very prominent at all. It's just hanging around there in the background, just a little hint of a nice floral rose, but to me, barely detectable, just a really nice supporting note to this fragrance. As well as these musks and the whiskey, there's some lovely rich, deep resinous woods. And as the scent starts to dry down, so I've got it dry down about an hour or so old on my arm here, and it does settle down a little bit, but the profile of the scent remains throughout the life. And the main accord is that beautiful whiskey note, which remains front and center, thick and decadent throughout the whole life of the fragrance. Sometimes in boozy fragrances, the actual boozy note itself can fizzle out quite quickly. I get a little bit of that with something like CH-Men Privé or Apple Brandy from by Kilian, and you're left more with base notes after that. But with this one, that whiskey accord remains throughout the life. I think the woods and the musks are just supporting it so well that the profile remains beautiful and boozy for the whole time you're wearing this one. To me, those resinous woods form the backbone of this fragrance as it dries down, but that whiskey is always sitting proudly on top of it, and we get this lovely oak-aged whiskey barrel accord. I'm also picking up a little hint of tobacco in this. I may be wrong, it may just be my nose, but looking into it, ambrette seeds can be used to flavour tobacco, so the mixture of the ambrette seeds with the resinous woods could be giving me this kind of slight tobacco accord. It's not a really strong tobacco like in some more tobacco prominent fragrances, but to me I just get a little hint of it, which is great. So booziness, bit of tobacco, resinous woods. To me, Baraonda is made up of a trinity of accords, those sensual musks, the rich resinous woods, and that smooth whiskey. Now, when you're referring to boozy scents, sometimes people will think, why do I want to smell boozy? Why do I want people to smell me and think I've been drinking? I feel it's a little bit of a misconception. Maybe some people get that from boozy scents. Maybe it's more of a psychological thing. I don't know. Maybe people have told them that. But for me, my opinion on this is that the smell created, the scent from a scent with boozy notes in it, is not a scent that is equivalent to the stale smell of alcohol on someone's clothes if they've been in a pub, or maybe the smell of alcohol on someone's breath. It's a different smell. To me, boozy notes in a scent are the olfactory equivalent of that beautiful taste of whiskey and that warming sensation it gives you as you drink it. Baraonda in smell terms really does give me that. It gives me that beautiful scent and it gives me that lovely warming feeling. So talking about whiskey and how smooth Baraonda is, not all whiskey is smooth. So whiskies from different regions are made with different amounts of peat, which provide different levels of a peaty smokiness. So some whiskies like a Talisker can be really strong, really smoky, to me almost so peaty that it has this medicinal quality, and those whiskies are a little bit too strong for me. Whiskies that I prefer are lovely, smooth, mellow whiskies. One of my favourites is Dalwhinnie, and Baraonda reminds me more of those types of smooth whiskies. So not those strong, smoky, peaty whiskies, but the very smooth, gorgeous, creamy, mellow whiskies. Because Baraonda is so smooth and well-rounded, it's a little bit different to some of the other Nasomattos that I have. So Black Afghano, Pardon, Duro, I really love those fragrances, but they have a boldness and a brashness that Baraonda doesn't have. Imagine if they were a group of people, those other three scents would be out in front, bold and confident and not ashamed to show their confidence. Baraonda would be happy to sit back with a quiet but assured confidence. So Black Afghano, Duro, Pardon, they have a potency and assertiveness and attitude that Baraonda doesn't quite have, but what it does have is a smooth, alluring and very sensual quality. I'm just going to briefly mention the presentation of this because I really like it. I love the smaller 30ml bottles that the Nasomattos come with, and each Nasomatto fragrance comes with a different cap. So the cap on Baraonda is this cork cap, so it's very light and it fits in really well with the theme of Baraonda. The box that it comes in is really nice presentation. The other great thing about the presentation is you get a travel cap. So these caps that they come with are a little bit cumbersome and perhaps don't stay on that well if you were to travel with the fragrances. So if you are traveling, you can take the big cap off and replace it with this smaller, more compact travel cap. So I think that's a really nice feature and a nice option to have when purchasing this. Let's talk about how much Baraonda costs, and it's not cheap. You're talking about £125 or €125 for one of these bottles. That's at full retail. You can find them a little bit cheaper on discounters. I think Notino, as I was researching this one, was selling it for around 112. So they're never heavily discounted, but you can sometimes find them a bit cheaper. I bought this a lot cheaper than that because it was an almost full partial bottle. I think there was just a couple of mil missing. So that's a really great option to go for when you're thinking of buying a very expensive fragrance. Don't forget though, this is an extrait concentration, so it's the highest concentration you're going to get without it being a pure concentrated oil. The oil concentration of an extrait is around about 40%, and then just to give you the context of that with all the other fragrance concentrations, the next one after that is EDP or eau de parfum, which is around about 25% concentration. Then you've got EDT, which is somewhere between maybe 15–20%, and then the weakest concentration of oil is eau de cologne, which is around 2 to 5%. So this is the strongest. So even though per mil it is expensive, I find that with extrait concentrations, I don't have to spray them as much, so your money is going to go a little bit further. And the fact that they only come in these smaller 30ml bottle sizes makes that price just a little more palatable. Obviously the price would be much higher if these were being sold in 100ml bottles. As with all my Nasomattos, performance is really good with these. I'm getting a projection of around 2 to 3 hours. It's not a big beastly projection, it's not going to fill a room. You're going to get around about an arm's length, but it is quite a long projection period, so 2 to 3 hours I think is really good. Longevity, 8 to 10 hours, maybe even a little bit more, particularly if you spray it on clothes. So performance on this is excellent. I find Baraonda to be fairly versatile, so you could wear this anytime, any occasion. If you were to wear it in warmer temperatures, you would just want to spray really lightly, maybe even just one spray. But particularly on a summer evening, I think a spray or two of this would work really well. So you could wear it as a day scent. For me personally though, this would excel as an evening scent or a formal occasion scent. This would work really well as a night out scent. So if I was going out, even if it was a date night or if I was going out with some friends, I'd really enjoy wearing this and I'd feel great going out on the town with Baraonda. To sum up, I think Baraonda is exquisite. It's smooth, it's sweet, it's sensual, and it's one I'm very proud to have in my collection. Okay, that's enough from me. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful. Let me know if you own Baraonda. Let me know what you think of it. Is it one of your favorite Nasomattos? How do you think it compares to the other Nasomattos? And how do you think it maybe compares to other Boozy scents as well? I'd love to hear from you. Leave some comments down below and let's get a conversation going. Thanks for watching everybody. Until next time, keep tuning into FM and keep smelling good.